Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of Malt Magic Campaign 2. You're going to have to forgive me tonight. I have a wee bit of a cold or whatever, and it's affecting the old vocal cords. So everything's going to come out a bit more bassy tonight, so enjoy that. Anyway, before we descend into chaos, because I have a feeling it's going to be chaos tonight, let's run down our usual thank yous. There's some tech gremlins going on in the background, so whatever happens, just ignore it, move on, carry on. We're all going to be fine. So yes, our usual shout outs and thank yous to our virtual tabletop and mapping tools, two of which you are going to see tonight. So Incarnate, Owlbear Radio and Dungeon Alchemist, and then for all things character visuals, which you're also going to see tonight, Hero Forge, and a big shout out to our resident artist as well, Stick. Thank you very much for the artwork you've done. And then there's all the DM's tools I use in the background, so Ksoon, 5e Magic Shop, 2 Minutes Tools, Thieves Guild, World Anvil, I think that's it. There's probably some others in the background there. Any musical tracks you can hear are, well, some are courtesy of Tabletop Audio, so thank you very much to them. And of course, we are still affiliated with BattleBards, so a huge shout out to them. We did our giveaway last week for a month's free subscription to BattleBards version 2. So JK, congratulations for that one. The instructions are in your Discord DMs, mate. So just go have a look at them when you get a chance and sort that out, and then get in touch and we can sort all of that free month goodness out for you. What else to talk about? Go check us out on our social media channels. I know you can't see them on screen at the minute, but if you use the commands that you can use in the Twitch chat, you can pull up all of those social media channels and go at them from there. And of course, if you want to interact with us beyond just the social media channels, then please come and join the Discord server where you can chat to us almost live, or at least we'll pick it up when we see them. And there are various things going into that Discord server now, so I've not done it yet this week, but there will be one of the Campaign 1 homebrews going into the homebrew channel, so look out for that. But other than that, oh, there we go, look, they're starting to come up. Amazing. So yes, go check out the social media channels, go join us on Discord, and yes, go check out all the past episodes on YouTube as well if you'd rather listen, or just don't have the capacity for viewing YouTube videos at a certain time. Then please go check us out on podcast format as well. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, we're pretty much on it. So on your podcast platform of choice, go and check that out. Leave any ratings or reviews if you can, every little helps. And I think that's pretty much me for this evening in terms of introductions. So there's a slight mix-up in the lineup tonight. Enjoy that. We'll see what happens in a second. But yeah, let's roll. Hello. How are you doing?
We're good.
So there's a wave there. Yeah, Samal's had a very drastic change, an extremely drastic change.
It's like lockdown Samal when he grew his hair.
It is.
It's for the better, though, right?
100%.
Guys,
100%.
please.
So yes, for anybody that caught Campaign 1, you will of course recognise Paul from Campaign 1, but Paul has gracefully accepted and agreed to join us to do a brief stint as a guest star in Campaign 2. So everybody give Paul a very warm welcome. We are very happy to have him here in the crew. But yes, while we do that then, let's run down our lineup. Now you will notice other things on screen. There are certain things missing. We'll get to that later. Don't worry about that. So for now, we're just going to say who we are. Apart from Danny, you can introduce your character, of course. But yes, everybody else, just say who you are and what you're in for. So hi, I'm Matt. I'm an alcoholic. No, I'm not doing that one. So I am Matt. I am and always will be for this campaign your dungeon master. So yeah.
Hello, I'm Dave. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't go to meetings, I go to parties. So that's all good. No, I am running the tech tonight and showing my pretty face because I know that all of you would be sad if it wasn't here. So
I don't like it. I feel very out of sorts. I am Danny and I'm playing Lex, but who knows what the fuck's going on, to be honest. Jules dead. Smell's not here. It's all gone to shit.
Can we get a support group for Lex, please?
Hashtag hugs for Lex. I'll set up a good Just Giving page for him. We can all donate.
There we go.
I mean, you say you don't know what the fuck's going on. I didn't know we were doing this, so hi. Hello, everyone. So, yeah, I'm playing a character tonight. I'm not going to say who yet, and then that's it, pretty much. I'm just here for the ride.
Absolutely. So, yes, there are a lot of people that are totally unprepared for tonight, other than maybe having characters and certain things prepared, but that's about it. I've done my typical DM trick of telling people very little. So, in an effort to get people up to speed as to where we are, last week we had obviously returned to the Ebon Mirth, the sky ship that our band of detectives had been using to get around Enoeth, or at least escape from Thalissa on, and had travelled over to Zumkar. Having returned to the ship the first time, they were greeted by a merchant's wife, who instructed that her husband, or explained that her husband Rashid had gone missing. The detectives searched through Zumkar into an abandoned warehouse, found Rashid about to be traded, along with the magic item he was holding, off to some rather shady individuals. Still don't know who they are yet. And yeah, brought Rashid back to the ship, got some magic items and some rewards, and then departed Zumkar for a coastal journey towards the western city of Agruz in the region of Gildorn. And it was during that journey that two creatures just descended from the sky and attacked the whole crew, saying that the party had stolen something of theirs, or had something that belonged to them. I think everybody was pretty sure what that item was. But in the ensuing battle, Jewel lost all her hit points, and also was reduced to a hit point maximum of 0, which killed Jewel outright. Now Lex, in a slightly clutch moment there, used the power of suggestion to tell one of these creatures to get her back. And so these creatures, being able to descend into the ethereal plane, did so, and brought back the spirit of Jewel. Didn't quite bring Jewel back entirely, though. And that is where we tried healing potions to no effect. And having then mercilessly destroyed this final creature, Dis, the ship's engineer, came running up and cast Spare the Dying on Jewel, at which point Romeo said to you all, we need to get to Agruz, and we need to get to Agruz now, pretty much. And so, we begin tonight with Jewel having been moved down into the guest quarters, where Karsis has pretty much taken up guard duty, and is refusing to almost leave. Not sure of what's going to go on, but is also guarding not just the body of Jewel, but also something else in that room. Romeo has put every bit of power, I should say Romeo and Dis have put every bit of power into the Ebon Mirth, and are now, excuse me, gunning it across the land of Gildorn towards Agruz. Lex, what are you doing?
Fuck knows. Just for clarity, then, so when we say Karsis is... I've not got a big enough nose to fuck with, I don't think, but I've tried before. We've derailed it already. So, when you say Karsis is guarding something else, I assume you mean the soul coins?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't need to worry about them. So Karsis is guarding souls. So then I will... And they're diverting all power to get as fast as we can to the place we need to go. So the first thing I'll do is check if this needs any help with, I don't know, any power amplification or anything like that of the ship.
Okay. So as you sort of descend down to the engine deck, you know where that is, you can see that Dis has actually pulled the plates away from this central construct that exists in the center of the ship here, and you can see the raw gemstones that are in there. That's pure mana stone, which is secured in there. And you can also see that Rend has its central hatch open, and there is a cable which Dis is also then holding her hand over with a gemstone glowing. And it looks like not only is Dis applying as much magical and arcane effort out of these stones as possible, but they are also using Rend as additional power. Using the Mana Stone or the Wrathstrike Stone, as you now see the circular sphere of Wrathstrike that sits within Rend to power this ship. Thank you very much for the gift sub there. So yes, Dis at this point, having sort of just cast a spell, looks to you and just goes, We've got to get across the desert quickly. I can only cast so many more times.
Is there anything I can do to help you here?
No, just make sure everybody else is fine. It should probably take us about a day, I reckon. We're gonna go straight across the dunes. Maybe be on lookout. It's known for harpy attacks when we go across land, so just be aware.
Thank you for saving her. I don't know what I'll do. I've only known her a short time, but it would feel like a big loss if she was to have gone. So.
I've not saved her yet, Lex. She's still gone. I've just, preventing her going further.
Well, thank you. It means a lot. I'll go up top and make sure we're not attacked anymore. Let me know if you need me.
I will do. Thank you.
And then I'll head back up top. Now you've told me there's harpies attacked. I'm obviously shitting myself, so I'm getting ready to roll initiative in a minute.
By yourself.
So,
by myself.
I'm actually going to ask you to roll me a D100.
Oh, of course.
Roll low, because this is the number of harpies coming toward you.
Why would you say
97.
that? 49.
49. You go up to the top deck, and you see that everybody else bar Dis is out on deck now. Crodmar is actually almost sat on the edge of the crow's nest with the longbow over his knee, just watching out. Romeo is laser focused on where he is going and paying attention to the controls. Vala is at the very, very front of the ship as Tyragar and his sister Man, the mangonels, the two mangonels on either side, and you can see they are already buzzing and humming with arcane power, loaded and ready to go. About 6 or so hours into the journey, as you wander around nervously, there's not much conversation, everybody's very focused. Crodmar just looses an arrow, and you watch it fly towards this flying creature. And then one of the mangonels just turns and you hear this. And whatever that flying creature was, obliterated. You see a number of specks in the distance which just turn off. And Vala just sort of turns to you. Well, that bought us some time at least. Luck's on our side today. Let's hope we can just get into Agruz now. Well, you don't take any chances when you're over the dunes, put it that way.
Right. Okay, is there anything I can be doing? I feel like I'm not really helping. I'm just like aimlessly wandering around.
You and your friend just keep eyes out, okay? We're just going to get there. That's the important thing. You might want to look over that side of the ship as well. You can just about see the hold. The Great Chasm.
The what chasm?
The hole in the world. The Great Chasm in the centre of Gildorn. around, you realise you are heading directly west from Zumkar now across the dunes of Gildorn. And in the middle, you see almost where the dunes do sort of break, and there is just this dark hole. And you continue on from... Carry on.
Just as we fly by it, is it just a big hole, or is it like...
Mm-hmm.
It's not a portal, is it?
Not that you'd really be able to make any sense of from this distance.
Okay. I'm going to send... I forgot his name. Cog. Bloody hell. I'm going to send Cog up to the Looking Nest. Looking Nest? What the fuck's it called?
Crow's Nest.
Thank you. Looking Nest. Bloody hell. I'm going to send him up to the Crow's Nest to help keep lookout. Because he's got true sight as well, he'll be able to see things that the other guy can't.
So you see Cog fly up and just lands on the top of Crodmar's bald head and just sort of settles itself. The wings fold in and then it just... as it just starts moving its eye in regular intervals, scanning around. Roll me another D100, please.
Oh. This makes me nervous.
Oh, mate.
92.
92. You get so far into your journey, probably around 9 or 10 hours, and you know that this is going to take 6, 12... Yeah, just over a day in total. So I'm going to say you've travelled about 12 hours, and all of a sudden the wind starts to pick up around you, and you just see Vala turn around and grab you and start to drag you along the deck. Dust Storm, get down. She takes that bandana that she's got, pulls it up over her nose, takes out a pair of goggles and places them. You see Crodmar also takes out some goggles. Romeo, Tyragar and his sister, they all take out these goggles and wrap scarves around their faces. They aren't going anywhere. Romeo's just going to look down towards you. You can do no more here, Lex. We've got this. Go look after Karsus. It's going to be bumpy.
Right. I'll call Cog down from the Crow's Nest. I don't want him getting all sand in his gears.
Yep. Very good.
And I'll head down.
Cog comes down to
out
you.
the storm.
And you head down. As you join Karsus, the ship begins to lurch and sort of bounce around. Its turbulence increases dramatically. Maybe a dexterity saving throw, please. I'm also going to do the same for Karsus.
Oh no, I pressed the wrong one. Ignore that roll. 15.
15. The ship at one point just lurches. You see Karsus throw themselves across the body of Jewel just to protect Jewel. As you sort of catch yourself on one of the beds, neither of you take any damage. But you can hear the sort of creaks and groans, almost screams within the material of the ship itself as it starts to contest with this intense speed, and also the sandstorm that now has blown up around. You see the one sort of porthole window that you've got in your quarters. You look out, it is just pure orange sand as far as you can see. The noise is incredible. You and Karsus almost just sit there, holding on to Jewel, in silence, unable to really speak over the noise. About 2 hours later, the wind begins to die down. And there is just then the gentle...
What is it?
Dis is going to poke her head in. You alright?
Yeah. We're, well, as okay as we can be. Do you need me?
No. I just wanted to make sure everybody was okay. That was bumpy. Look, we got, well, it was rough going, but it gave us a bit of a boost. So we're going to be descending in about 3 hours or so. I figured you want to get yourselves ready. Someone's going to have to go find, I don't know, someone within the city to help here. I can only do so much, and that's just to prevent her going further.
Yeah. I'll go into the city.
I'm not leaving her side. Not while she's like this. Lex, this one's on you. I'm gonna guard her
I agree.
and it. More importantly,
I agree.
if anything else comes back, they're gonna meet my blade.
You're the one I trust the most to protect her.
And I trust you to go and find the answer.
Good Irish accent, by the way.
It's just the bassy tones, right?
Yeah, it works.
Very good. So we will say, for the sake of brevity, you begin to prepare yourself. You sort of dust down your suit, get yourself and Cog ready to go and venture out into the city of Agruz, and then make your way up to the deck, where, as you ascend, Romeo's just going to sort of point to the front where Valor is, and Valor will also then point out below. As you approach the front of the ship, you can now see a city 2, 3, maybe 4 times the size of Zumkar. This bustling city that sits on the very edge of the desert, and you can start to see green now, and a great river that runs away up towards the northeast. You can sort of see the sea, the ocean, if you like, down towards your southwest. And you see, even from this height, a great bridge which spans across almost the delta of the river itself. But the bit that really catches your eye is Agruz itself, this glittering city. From what you can tell from this distance, and as you start to descend and get closer, the architecture in Agruz is different from that in Zumkar. There is still that Gildornian core to it, the Arabian influence, if you like. But there's also something that is a bit more elegant, I want to say, a bit more flowing to the structures. Make me a nature check, please, Lex.
Four.
Great. You can't pinpoint what this different architectural style is, but there is something different. There's almost like the meeting of different cultures in Agruz. As you then descend down, Valor's...
Has it got a bit of like a Dubai vibe to it?
Kind of. There's just a different influence to it. You can't put your finger on just yet. As you descend even further down, Valor's just going to sort of pull you around and sort of looks at you. If you wish to save her, there's one of 2 places that you can try. There are 2 temples that I know of in the city. One is, well, devoted to the sun god. I don't know what they call him here. I think I've heard him called Palor in places, but who knows here. The Temple of the Sun, there will be people there. There is a smaller temple too. I think it's just called either the prayer house or something like that. But as far as I remember, they are devoted to a deity of light. I think she's called the Everlight. Again, I'm not religious, I don't know. One of those 2. Hopefully you'll find someone there.
Where they are situated from where we'll be landing, do you? Which one's closest?
Yes, so the Temple of the Sun is pretty much in the western district of Agruz. You can't miss it. It's the biggest building there. It is very opulent. The prayer house, or the house of prayer, is not far from there, but it is much smaller, much more modest. Yes, you may have to go looking for that one. Excuse me.
Both of them will have healers, right?
I don't know, ultimately. I would like to think at least one of them will, but
Just looking at Lex's lore sheet, he does know some stuff about, like, the Age of Creation type gods. So would he have knowledge of these two old school gods?
make me a religion check with advantage, please.
Come on, be a good roll. 17. Happy with that.
So, you have heard both the names Palor and the Everlight before. You know, the Everlight is another term used for the deity Re or Serenray, and Palor is very much the deity of the sun. Now, they are both what you remember being called prime deities, or at least names that were used for the prime deities in the past. Having spent time in Thailissa, you're now of the impression that maybe some of those names have changed in recent times. But from what you remember of Palor, they are a deity of the sun first and foremost, and the idea of life and light and healing and nature. You also know that Re is very similar, but is a more compassionate deity. So a deity of life, of light specifically, and also a deity of atonement.
Okay. So, just recalling that, I'll just say back to Vala, well, I know that both of the guards deal with life, compassion, and so the healers could be at both temples, but if the Temple of Palor is easier to find, then that's the one I should go to first if I can't miss it.
It is easy to find. Just Agruz is a city above others. Honestly, it's the second largest city in Gildorn apart from the capital Zarwacheks, and people have a snobbishness and a pretentiousness here. So just be careful who you ask and what you ask them to do, okay?
Well, I suppose if I go straight to the temple, they'll be the most compassionate people, right? Or will they still be snobby, as you put it?
I don't tend to deal with gods and deities and priests, but I do know that Agruz has a reputation for being something of a pretentious city.
Although I'm a well-dressed individual, do you think my appearance in general is going to draw attention or trouble? Do you think I need to adorn a different outfit or anything like that?
I wouldn't have thought so. No, Agruz is very much a coming together of cultures. You can see the elven nature and the elven influence from Serena,
Yeah.
as opposed to the Gildornian architecture there. Yes, you will find a much more varied racial profile here, if you like. So not just humans, minotaurs, but there will be elves. In fact, I think there's a degree of Furbolg there as well, quite a number, who have descended from the wilds of Serena and settled there. Plenty of humans, dwarves, gnomes, you name it, they're pretty much there.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to get distracted. I'm going straight to the temple, speak to them, and if I get no luck, I'll go. Come on.
I will deal with Romeo's business. Save you having to deal with that. I'll get the sword where it needs to go. And then I will return here. We will not let her out of our sight. I'm assuming Tarsus is remaining below.
Yeah, they will not move. It's only right that they guard her until I return.
Okay. Listen, we'll be docking in a few minutes. Get your things. I will enter the city with you, and then we will go our separate ways.
I suppose one more question. Do you think Karg will be okay out in the open, or do you think I'll need to keep him hidden?
I'd probably keep him hidden up until the point where you need to use him. I don't know, honestly, how people react.
Is that okay with you, buddy? Okay. Then I'll put Karg into my pocket, yeah. I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
So as the next sort of 10 minutes or so come to pass, Romeo is descending rapidly, and you just all hold on to the side of the ship as it just breaks very suddenly and slowly comes in and descends into the port and into its docking bay. And you can just hear the wind down, the arcane hum of the engine just begin to quiet, and just this. And Romeo's just going to look. Well, I don't think I'm doing a fucking better landing than that anytime soon.
I shall disembark and return as soon as I can. Thank you.
Go. We've got it. So you and Valor literally hop over the side of the ship as the gangplank sort of flops down and run down. And there is a dock hand there, if you like, a portmaster, who sort of goes to speak to you, and Valor just throws something at him, which looks like a piece of leather or something, and he just catches it and looks at it, marks something down, and just looks at the ship, nods, and you and Valor continue on your run. As you approach the city now, you can hear the sound. It is a bustling, very, very busy city. But there is a lot more green here than you are used to, or than you have been used to in Zumkar and the regions of the areas in Gildorn that you've been to so far. This very much, you can see, operates as this major trade hub between two regions within NOF. You can see it's packed with merchants. There's travellers from various places. You also see folks that look similar to yourself, who are maybe the more adventuring type. Excuse me. The buildings and the architecture, there's these ornate buildings and colourful bazaars, but again, there is much more greenery and foliage, trees, vines, flowers, shrubs, everywhere. One of the biggest things you see, the most prominent features you see in front of you as you descend now into the city, is this grand bazaar. And you went into the marketplace of Zumkar, but this is something on a whole nother level. It is this sprawling market that stretches for several different blocks of buildings. You can see vendors that are selling everything from exotic spices to textiles to magical artifacts and items, weapons. You also see a number of inns and taverns, and there's just people everywhere. As you sort of enter into the bazaar, Valor's just going to point you in a direction. Follow that road. Do not turn off it until you hit the temple. If you turn off of it, you will get lost in the city.
Thank you. And poof, I'm gone.
So you run off. Valor just turns, and you can see she pulls something out of her coat, and it is almost a metre-long cloth-wrapped bundle. She just nods to herself, places it back, and then disappears off into the bazaar itself at a more steady pace. You continue to run up this road, and eventually it starts to angle upwards, and you start to tire somewhat as the speed gets to you. You slow down and just begin to start walking, but you see it already, this grand temple, and outside where previously you've been to temples that have these grand statues of figures of the deities themselves, this one has a large fountain and at the top a representation of a burning sun. This golden sphere with these triangular points that come off at various points around the sphere. And you can see a number of these robed individuals that are in very much golden robes. They carry the symbol of Palor, of the sun god, on them. And they all walk around with sort of their hands in their sleeves and just mill about. You don't see many common folk, I'm going to say at this point. What would you like to do?
I'll go up to one of the people that look like priests with their arms in their sleeves, wearing the obviously with the sun logo on them. Excuse me, I'm really sorry to interrupt your day, but I'm hoping you may be able to help me. I'm looking for a healer. My friend is really hurt, and I'm hoping you can help.
Everybody is looking for healers. What is the specific problem?
She's dead.
Oh. Might I suggest you seek out our funerary agreements then?
No. Did you say funeral agreements?
I assume you wish to bury her?
No. We've stopped her passing further into death. We want to bring her back. I've already retrieved her soul. We just need to bring her back to life.
This sounds like necromancy. We want nothing to do with this.
No. Revive her. Resurrect her. Not necromancy.
Raising the dead is, necromancy. It is against the order of things. Surely you wish to just let them be.
No. I wouldn't be here if I was going to let it be. So you cannot resurrect somebody who is dead? Can anybody in your church do that?
Un moment. And this priest turns to the other, and you see this priest is male elven, turns to a female human, and they just begin to whisper in hushed tones. Probably about 5 minutes later. Well, I'm afraid I know of only one who may be able to do this within our temple, and it does not come at small cost. If you wish, maybe one of the Everlights, acolytes, can do it at a cheaper price. You do not look like you have the means.
What is the price?
Yeah. Listen, my friend. The price for bringing a soul back is, even the richest in the city will not be able to afford it. The cost is very high.
We're talking like diamonds? Or do you mean like a life for a life?
Something along the latter lines.
Right. Okay. Could you maybe point me to the Everlight temple?
I expect they will tell you the same, but sure, if you were straight down this road right here.
Well, you said they could do it cheaper, so what did you mean by that?
Maybe they will do it cheaper. But listen, this is not small magic anymore. Not for 30 years has it been so easy to just bring back. Power of gods is diminished, well diminished. But listen, if you wish to seek out those that follow the Everlight, down this road, turn right, you will see a small brick building. This is the House of Prayer. Everlights, acolytes right now. There is a High Priestess, Amara. She may be able to help.
Thank you. I appreciate your help. And I'll turn and run.
I am sorry for your loss. As you dash off down the road then. And compared to the opulence of the Temple of the Sun Gods, the building you find with the symbol of a female with these great phoenix-like wings that extend out is just a tiny little statuette aboard a marble plinth, and behind that a sand brick building. But you see a number of not homeless but more common working class folk who are outside seeking either help, healing, atonement, and a number of more, I'm going to say, outwardly friendly looking priests and acolytes. They wear these dark brown or black robes with very, very simple trim on them. And they go around, they offer water, they offer food. There is one such individual, very, very tall, with their hood up as they sort of walk into the temple. Or into the House of Prayer, I should say. And as you enter in, you see in here, it is very, very simple. There are sort of floor to ceiling bookshelves on each of the far walls that are filled with books. A number of individuals around there. And towards the back, this simple altar devoted to the Everlight. And there is a Goliath woman, female Goliath, who stands and is just reading from a book out to a number of people that are sat in front of her. You wait for a moment for her to finish her sermon. She then closes her book, smiles. My friends, may the Everlight's light be with you. Go now in peace, and may she bring you luck in your days. The congregation begins to filter out, and she turns but sees you standing there. I'm sorry, can I help you?
I really hope you can. It's a bit of a delicate matter, but I'm told you're the best person to help. And I'm seeing your compassion and seeing you now, I believe you are. My friend is dead, and I'm hoping you can bring her back. I'll pay whatever it costs.
Please, come. You look like you've been through the absolute ringer. Please come and sit. And she speaks to one of the priests. Water or wine, whatever we have. She sits you down. Listen, you seem very, very shaken. I'm sorry for your loss here. Hopefully the Everlight will take your friend onto where they need to go. But you want to bring them back. Yeah,
we've recovered her soul and we've stabilized her. We performed a ritual to stop her dying anymore, but we want to bring her back.
Sorry, rewind that. You've recovered her soul? How?
Magically. The devil that killed her, I made him go and get it back.
I think you need to tell me this from the beginning. Everything that happened.
Okay. We was on an airship coming here, and we were attacked by two devils, and they killed my friend. So I used my powers of suggestion to make them go retrieve the soul and bring it back, and then one of my friends spared.
that bit just there. How did they get the soul back?
It looked like they went into another plane to retrieve it.
Did they turn ghostly?
Yeah, they did.
Then your friend is on the edge. Well, usually I would say that this is nigh on impossible these days without the right materials, which we simply don't have here, and the cost. You have not brought the soul back, but the spirit, which means that your friend now quite literally hovers on the edge.
Does that make the process easier?
Maybe. Maybe. If you'll forgive me for just 1 second, let me, I'll send one of my acolytes over to sit with you. I need to go fetch a book. The High Priestess, as this is clearly who she is, wanders over, and you can see she towers above everybody in here, bar a few individuals, and she approaches one such individual who is of similar height to her. And Dave, would you like to describe...
They're called Dave. Brilliant.
What your temporary character, maybe, looks like?
Who knows? So the High Priestess walks over to this this furbolg. So they have a light blue skin. They have vibrant pink hair that goes all the way through into the beard and everything, and it all matches. They're a very tall, jolly sort of frame. So they've clearly enjoyed their food. They have a nice, pleasant demeanour and smile on their face. With the furbolgs, they've got sort of like those, the cow ears, and they're wearing a very sort of darkish robe, but it looks nice, and it's got some nice detail to the robes and the sort of the waistband and stuff like that. They have they are holding a staff, and they are just looking through some of the books that are currently at the side.
As the High Priestess approaches, then, Morlin, my dear, we have an interesting task. I need to get a book, so could you just go and sit with this this individual just here? They're a little bit shaken. Just keep them calm, keep them relaxed. We may feel the Everlight today, and this excites me.
Morlin smiles, and then we'll walk over to where Lex is. Lex, are you currently just standing around, or have you been sat down? I forget.
I've sat myself down.
You sat yourself down. So as Morlin's quite tall, he will sit down, and he sort of, as he sits down, his robes go up. You actually see he's wearing sandals. Very simple. But he sits down, crosses his legs, and then just goes, "Hello there. How are you?"
I'm not too great, to be honest.
I heard.
Are you here to help?
I'm always here to help. My name is Morlin. What's yours?
Hi, I'm Lex.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you.
I wish it was. I wish I could say the same, but under the circumstances, it's a little bit somber for me at the moment. I'm sorry.
I can understand that. You've come here for blessing or for help?
All of the above.
Well, what the High Priestess has said has intrigued me. Anything that means that we might see the Everlight is enlightening.
Well, from what I know of the Everlight, which granted is not as much as you, obviously, she is probably a burst help at the moment.
Oh, I'm sure. I'd love to hear some more as to what is going to be happening.
Well, if it's you who'll be accompanying me back to the ship, we will be bringing somebody back from the dead today.
Oh, you came on a ship. But I
on
am
a ship, yeah.
sorry to hear about your friend. That is terrible. You knew them long?
Long enough for their death to matter to me. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Well, then I wonder, is that what she was meaning? Oh, I'm intrigued.
Yeah. I feel like her death is tipped the balance in the wrong favor, so I believe the Everlight can help me restore balance.
In all my years, I've never seen it happen, and I would be delighted to see it. I do hope you can bring them back.
Well, I'm hoping you can bring them back.
Me, dear boy? Oh, now that would be interesting. I wonder if it's possible. It hasn't happened recently, I suppose.
Is it? Well, you're saying to me, what do I need to do to prepare? Is there?
Nothing for now. No, I wonder if she's going to find the particular book she's looking for.
Do you need to help her?
No, I'm
I
here
don't
to
mind
look
sitting
after
by
you.
myself.
I
I don't mind being alone for a bit quicker.
Far from it. I probably don't remember where I put it myself.
Okay. Confidence levels are not high right now, I must admit.
You're new to here then?
Yeah, my first time in Agruz.
It can be a
I am
little
familiar with the
unsettling.
Everlight's ways, a little bit, but I'm not a worshipper per se.
You were saying that this poor friend of yours has died, passed away completely?
Yeah. Well, from what your priestess was saying, they're hovering on the edge because we managed to secure their spirit.
Oh,
Just can't bring them back.
well, I see the unique predicament you're in. Oh, how very interesting. I do hope we can help.
Do we need to check on your priestess friend?
How about some tea? I'm good at tea. I'll make you some.
I am quite partial to some hot leaf water, but I feel like now's not the right time. We need to pick up the pace a little bit if we can.
I am sure that we are working as fast as we can, but tea never is a problem. Do stay there.
Right.
Morlan will get up and then bustle over to a tiny little teapot that he looks stupid with, and we'll just start making a lovely little bit of tea for you.
I'm not sure they can help.
And how do you bring...
I'm not feeling very confident. Just talking to my pocket.
As Morlan brings the tea over, the High Priestess comes back with her head quite literally in a book. She looks up and goes, "Oh yes, tea. Fantastic idea."
I made you some. I hoped you were coming back.
Of course, Morlan. Thank you so much, my dear. And she takes a sip. I may have something that can help. I may have something that can help. We can certainly, between the two of us, that sexy furball right there. Between the two of us, it's time more than Morland even, helped me with some more of my duties. With the right materials, I think we can get your friend back to where she needs to be. There is one thing that is missing.
What's that?
Well, that's the kicker, I'm afraid. There's an artifact that I think we're going to need. Or I'm pretty sure I'm going to need. It's something to do with, well, the planes and souls, and it is rumoured to lie in a temple west of here in the desert, or a tomb of sorts, long forgotten.
You need something to do with souls? What do you want? Like an artifact that can harness or hold a soul?
More something that can provide a natural portal for a soul to return.
Okay, but nothing else can come through this portal.
I don't know. It's, as I say, the artifact creates something, and souls can pass. We can just make sure that the right soul passes back, and hopefully bring your friend back.
Okay. As long as you think it's possible. I don't want to open up a portal and create more chaos.
Oh, no. You won't be using this artifact just by yourself willy-nilly. We will all do this together. Excuse me. Listen, Morland, it's certainly... We cannot send this poor fellow out into the desert on his own. Would you mind terribly, my dear?
Of course I would. It may have been many years, but I was certainly enjoyed my artifact hunting before on the travels. Yes, be happy to come along.
There is one other I think you might need. Inventor of sorts. Around in the city. You'll probably find them in the market district, I imagine. But they supposedly know the location of this tomb. I merely have the description of, well, what used to go on there. But I think if you find them, they can take you to the tomb, get your artifact, and hopefully we can all bring your friend back to the light.
Do you, having never done this before, do we have a time limit on which to achieve this before it's too late?
Well, you said you'd managed to stabilize your friend. I'm assuming certain spells were cast.
They spared them from dying. I'm not sure what the spell is, but...
In which case, the individual who has cast that should be able to repeat the casting for as long as is necessary.
Yeah, they said they could, yeah.
Maybe we send the message back to them then, to ask them to do so, while the two of you go and seek out this individual.
Do they, do we need to take my dead friend to this place, or can we bring
no,
her soul back?
No, that's definitely not the wisest of decisions, not across the desert, no.
Okay.
The artifact is what you need, so find the artifact and retrieve that.
Okay. You're gonna have to take that tea to go, Morland. We gotta go now.
Oh, right. Let me go and get my pack. I shall be but a moment, and then I'll be happy to. High Priestess, the fellow we need to go and see, is this the one we spoke about last week, or is it another one?
It's this... Excuse me while I have a coughing fit.
I think you
the
should
same
have some
individual,
tea,
yes.
Priestess. You seem to have a frog in your throat.
Thank you. That's too kind of you. Yes, the same individual as last week. Hopefully they're not stealing the same things this time. But, yes. Yes, go find Richard and take them.
Absolutely. Yes. So,
can this individual be trusted? Well, I suppose we don't have a choice.
Morlin, we will pay him to do this, okay? That should be enough to gain the trust.
Well, yeah, I'll pay him. That's fine. You're a modest church. I wouldn't expect you to pay. You're doing me a favor. I will front the cost.
Too kind. Too kind. Sure you're not a religious man yourself?
No, I just believe in logic and fairness, and it makes no logical sense for you to pay when I'm asking you to do a job for me. Out of the goodness of your heart.
Interesting.
I like him.
Yes, Morlin. So do I. So do I.
Anyway, my backpack, and I shall be but a moment.
Morlin, grab 3 of the standard vials while you're there. You may need them.
Oh, thank you. Well, yes, I may be the one needing them. My stuff.
Yeah.
He trots off.
Very good. So Morlin disappears.
Trots. I've just got to look like a dressage horse. Just.
More of just a slightly overweight man in his 50s, to be honest, doing the dad run in the car park.
He's a bit like the Sound of Music type character. He's just going to burst into song any moment.
Yeah, well, you'll be glad to hear that I won't be, bursting into song because, we're all wearing headphones.
The dunes are alive with the sound of screaming.
Clip clop, yeah.
Very good. So Morlin returns probably about 5 minutes later, with the pack slung over their back. Amara, the High Priestess, just sort of leans towards Morlin, places a kiss on her forehead. May the Everlight go with you, my dear.
Oh, we shall.
Don't forget, as distant as she is, should you need her, call on her.
She is always in our hearts. She is never distant.
Indeed. And you, my dear, just trust in Morlin. Trust in this engineer of sorts. They will get you where you need to go.
Okay. Thank you.
Morlin, you know where to go.
I do.
Go.
Please follow me.
Are you a bit of a casual walker? Are you a dawdler?
I was going to say, Morlin begins this very slow sort of jaunt through the city.
Considering his size, he's not walking very quickly. He's quite used to just pottering about for quite a while.
Okay.
I may have missed your name, or I was just rather too excited. Mine is Morlin.
Yeah, hiya. Yeah, I gave you my name, but it's okay. Lex.
Lex, that was it. Sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
the excitement of your situation, and I realise I say that I know it is very raw for you, but I am hopeful we shall get her back.
With that in mind, do you think we could pick up the pace a bit? Maybe turn this little walk into a bit of a jog?
Of course, I understand the urgency. Yes, he maybe gets about 5 or 10% quicker.
Yeah. I'm tempted to cast kinetic jaunt on him just to make him hurry the fuck up.
Very good. So it takes you probably not quite twice as long as it should do, but too long to Lex to get back into the market district as Morlin begins to weave through these stalls and through these alleyways. You pass an inn, a large sort of looks quite well visited. Well visited inn that you see is called the Ironwood Inn, and you also, as you walk around, you see dead center, almost surrounded by this garden of sorts. You can just peer through the trees. There's these strange rocks looks like some sort of stone circle, if you like, is in the centre of the city there somewhere. And eventually you're led to a little shop slash house type structure with a number of just different... In fact, Paul, describe your abode for me.
I mean, it's just a hodgepodge of cogs and weird mechanical bits that you'll see kind of floating around. It's absolutely disgustingly messy, for sure. Things just all over the floor. You know, when you do walk in, you'll have to step over things and probably clang and clatter things around. And should I describe where I am, I guess? Should I keep going?
Yes.
So, and then, you'll see a kind of grey man in the corner with kind of leather outfit on and a backpack. He always wears his backpack, even inside. And you'll see him tinkering away at things. And he'll have a little construct that's following him around. It's a little spider, four-legged spider bot, but it's got like the head of BB-8 kind of thing and a few little attachments on it with like saws and things like that all around it. And it'll be passing me things and I'm tinkering away, basically. So that's what you see. That's where I'll stop, I guess.
How do you get anything done in this chaos? Is this the individual we need? Is this the guy?
Yes. This is the one, and hopefully he will have what. Well, he will know more than we do about it. I shall go and make the introductions then, shall I?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Richard, it's me. It's Morlan. Hello.
Oh, well, hi. Hi.
He failed the first hurdle.
Right, no, I'll do it. One sec. Okay, I'll do it. One sec. Oh, well. So, it's quite a somber mood, and I don't want to ruin that somber mood.
You've got it.
No. You fucking crack on, mate. You go for it.
You're right there.
Oh, well, hi there, guys. How you doing? My name's Richard. Oh, you already know me.
Richard, this is Lex. He has need of your services, as do I.
Oh,
Hi, Richard.
Oh, hi. I mean, the name's Richard. Excuse me. The name's Richard, but the folks around here, they call me the Soldier Dick. Don't worry about that, though. It's just a little funny play on phrase, because I'm not really a soldier. I'm just a little tinkerer, You can see I'm a little engineer and things like that, but don't worry about it. Yeah, it's all good.
I feel like we haven't got time to delve into that story right now, but can we save that for later? Maybe put a pin in that.
Oh, if you wish, yeah.
I wish to acquire your services, if that's okay.
Oh, these are services that, the town folk talk about, about the...
Well, Richard, this one is...
I'm not familiar. What does it mean?
I'm aware of the fact that you possibly have more knowledge of a ruins temple west of here in the desert that you may or may not have found a few trinkets in. Is this correct?
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That's the place with the old king. Where they buried him, right?
Oh, is that what it was? Well...
Can we cut to the end bit?
Yes.
This is taking too long.
We need...
Long story short, my friend is dead. We need an artifact that we know where you know where it is, and we need to retrieve it. It's in a tomb out west. Is there? I'll pay you.
Pay me how?
With money.
Okay.
Or
I guess.
Trade. We can trade, I suppose.
I mean, I'm not sure you'll be willing to part with it, but that's okay.
Is it... What did you have in mind?
We'll talk about that later. Don't worry. I can take you to where you need to go. Let me just grab my things.
Okay. I've just realised who you sound like. You sound like the paedophile from Family Guy.
That's kind of what I'm trying to go with. I can't whistle through my teeth, though, unfortunately.
Well,
I'm going to say it.
Did I not say he was the most charming fellow?
I think we have different definitions of charming, but yeah, he's a character.
I'm going to say at one point, Lex, Cog just sort of sneaks out of your coat and just begins to flutter over, picks up an actual cog and looks at it like they're looking in a mirror, and then puts it down and sees this little spider-legged machine and sort of just flutters around behind it, sort of inquisitively. Just...
Yeah. Wally, you make friends for a minute. We've got time to kill, apparently.
So I'm going to say in this moment, while Richard's getting themselves ready, this little four-legged spider droid, we're going to call it that from now on, turns and looks at Cog, and you can see sort of the head goes forward, and then Cog just sort of flicks it with a wing. The minute this tiny little buzzsaw comes out and sparks on Cog, and Cog sort of brings its wing back, and then bats this thing across the head, at which point the head spins, and then they just turn and go about their separate ways.
Hey there, Henry, stop that!
Yeah, I'm sorry, he's not usually like that. We're both fascinated. I'm a bit of a tinkerer myself, but in a bit more of an orderly fashion. Yeah.
Why do I feel like I've been stitched up here? Because I now have to do 2 robots.
And Rend, because we're going to give him a voice at some point. I'll buy him a voice box, and then, yeah.
Oh, and I forgot that Morland's got a little goat that's with him. No, I'm kidding.
Fantastic. So, as Richard gets their things together, then, what are we doing?
I'll have a little look around the shop, see if there's any items that I think might be useful.
Make me an investigation check, please.
Just as he's doing that, I'm going to be keeping a watchful eye on him, making sure I'm always looking around and making sure no one's going in my secret drawers.
I rolled a 4, which probably is the fact that it's an absolute pigsty, so I won't be able to find anything.
I was going to say, it is utter chaos in here. This is the anti-Lex, right, in this room. There is shit everywhere. There is no sense of what you can figure out to be organisation or any order anywhere. It is just the epitome of chaos.
What kind of filing system do you have going on here?
Oh, who needs a filing system? Don't worry about that. And I'm just going to sweep things off the shelves into my bag. Just like not even really looking, just roughly opening the backpack.
Maybe as we're travelling to this place, I can talk to you about the Dewey Decimal System and get this place sorted out.
I got a few things I'll talk to you about too. Don't worry about it.
Okay. That sounds promising. Thank you.
Anyway, okay, I've got all my stuff now. Let's go.
Are you bringing that contraption? This.
Excuse me, you mean Henry? Henry will be coming. Henry, come on. Go jog along, will you?
Meet Henry, meet Cog. Cog, meet Henry. I know you've kind of introduced yourself, but play nice now. I nearly went South American then. I went, hey, play nice, y'all. Oh, I can't help it. Play nice, y'all.
I think it means Southern American, not South American.
Yeah, that's a completely different accent. Yeah.
Very good. So then, Richard, where are you leading the party?
That's a good question. Well, I'm heading west. I know that one.
Good stuff. I'll say you do lead them through the market district and through the bazaar, and there's a few people that sort of nod to you. You get a few scowls towards Richard Morland. There's a few people that come up to you and just sort of bow their head towards you and grab your hands together, just sort of in thanks. Lex, you get a few funny looks, as if to say, well, who's that, and why are they with those two? And
I'll just
but
wave
generally,
as if I'm supposed to be there and I'm important.
Eventually you reach one of the city gates, and you see these guards as such that are adorned in this black, almost plate-like armour. As you get a closer look to it, it actually appears more chitinous, more like the carapace of an insect than actual plate armour itself. And they sort of see you all, look towards Richard, Morland, and then Lex. Where are you heading, if you are heading west?
Do I know these people? No.
You would recognise them as the city guard. You don't necessarily recognise the individuals, I would say, as they do wear these helmets.
Okay.
We're on a little mission from the Temple of Ray.
This does not explain what you are doing out west. Little mission. Of to save
It's
some
a
orphans.
religious pilgrimage into the desert. There's a holy space out there that we hope to visit.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I'm just leading these guys out. Don't worry about it. I could come back here all the time. Don't worry. We'll just be on our way. You don't need to care.
One, go. It's fine.
Okay, come on,
Open the
guys.
gates.
Follow me.
And as they open the gates, you see something of a stone-like road that leads out, but it is very much awash with sand. And you can see the dunes, the great dunes of the Gildonian desert, out in front of you. And you begin to head out. The sun is overhead, I should say. And it is quite warm. Richard.
Luckily, I don't sweat.
Richard,
I'm
make me a
like Prince
survival
Andrew.
check, please. Probably not the connotation you want.
No, true. That is very true.
20?
20.
Nice.
You see, Richard takes out a small little notebook and looks into it, and sort of then looks around and just begins to walk in a direction. And you continue heading this way for an hour, 2. Stop briefly as you are now well into the dunes, and you can still see sort of the city behind you and some of the taller towers of the city. But you are very much now getting into the Gildonian desert itself. You stop to sort of refresh yourself.
Why were the guards so interested in where we were going? What business is it of theirs? Is it like a police state in Agruz?
It's a very good question. Does Morland know that?
Morland would know that Agruz is very much, as I've said, a trade hub. And for people to just wander out with seemingly nothing is a little bit bizarre. Also, with no means of transportation to get themselves to other cities is equally bizarre, as the wilds of Gildorn are not very forgiving at all. And that's probably why they just questioned as to what you were doing. More for your safety than anything else.
Morland would explain that to Lex. So, you see, it's rather unusual, I suppose. Either arrive on ship and leave on ship, or you have a cart either empty or full. I
suppose that makes sense. Yeah.
We do stand out rather, I suppose.
We are quite the bunch, us three, actually, yeah. You wouldn't put us together, would you?
Ah, well, the likely lot that we all end up together with.
So, tell me a little bit more about yourselves. I agree to this because I got a little side mission I want to go on myself. Secretly, there's a little thing I need to do over there anyway. But what are you guys doing? I know you said little bits, but I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, I'm hoping you can help us retrieve this artifact, 'cause I've been told it can help my friend who was hurt.
Oh no. Are they okay?
No, they're dead.
Oh. Well, what? I mean, that's bad news for you, I guess. But sorry, that's not much I can do with that.
No, well, you can help by taking us to this artifact, which hopefully will allow us to bring them back. Yeah.
Of course, yeah, I can do that. Sorry. What was your name again?
Lex.
Oh, nice to meet you, Lex. My name's Richard.
Okay. And you can definitely remember where this place is, right?
Of course, I got my trusty notebook right here. Don't worry about it. We're all good,
Okay. Well, do you want to write my name in that notebook to help you remember?
No, I remember a name like yours. Don't worry about it.
What's your story, Richard? I know another one like you who is likes to tinker magically, but they seem to be a complete opposite to you. So I wondered what your discipline is compared to hers, I suppose.
Oh, I just do this and that. I mean, I got a bit of a secret thing, but I don't think you need to know. You know what? I tell you, actually, you seem like quite nice folk. You see, I figured out.
You committed to it now. You got.
I know. I figured out that on the black market, the old fetches quite a lot. You see, so
What's
what I. The old. Yeah, it doesn't matter, but I think you catch my drift.
Are you talking about genitalia?
It doesn't matter, I got kids to feed with the money I get, of course, with the money.
You're feeding kids genitalia? What's going on here?
Don't worry about it. We'll
I'm starting to worry about it. Is my genitalia safe? That is not the price I'm willing to pay. Granted, I don't use it much, but...
Don't worry about your genitalia.
I'm going to have to Google whether UNT actually have penises, because I'm not sure. I have no idea.
That's
I
good.
might be a Ken doll.
Make sure you don't do that on your business laptop, yeah?
Do snake people have cocks? Is what my Google search is going to say.
Don't image search that.
Richard will tell you, don't worry.
I'm going to put
Richard
it
is there, sort of
I'm feeling lucky button. See what comes up.
measuring you up for a minute, sort of.
I have to say, Richard, you make me feel uncomfortable a little bit.
Oh, well, maybe I'll tell you more secrets. I actually don't have kids, but it softens the blow when I tell people that. But if I'm doing it for the kids, the wife, the mistress. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Who are
anyway, you
doing
asked
it
my
for?
story.
It's
Any more
yourself.
questions?
I'm afraid to ask more questions. I have to be honest.
Oh well, I'll just lead the way.
And I'll look back in my book
Yes.
and I'll
Make
probably
another
turn around on the
survival
spot
check
a few
then,
times. 8.
8. You turn around the spot quite a few times and sort of look around and think, you're a little bit lost.
Guys,
Yeah.
might have had this upside down.
What?
You see, I don't really recognize much of this here. I've drawn a little tree here, but There ain't no trees here.
Suzanne will last. God.
I mean, last is just a question of whether you want to be found.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Surely it's all part of the journey. We were heading in the right direction at some point, Richard, I would have thought.
Yeah,
Somewhere?
I mean, we did leave the west. To the west, right?
Oh, yeah, we have been travelling west, yes.
Is it possible to look at the sun and see which way is west?
Make me a survival check, please, Lex.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, but do you know what time it is?
No. I rolled an 11.
11. So given where you were when you left, the time of the day and stuff, and you can see where the sun is in the sky, and you realise the city is back towards the east, if you like. And actually, if you were to just continue that way, you're heading west.
Okay. Well, it seems that we're heading in the right direction still, from what I can tell.
Yeah, I'm sure I recognize
Totally fucked this up as well.
Around.
This should be heading east, not west. So we're going to wreck on all that. You've always been heading east, not west. Because apparently I can't do fucking directions.
Yes, true, we would be straight into the sea.
You would be straight into the sea, so fucking ignore everything else. Yeah, you were always meant to be heading east, and you've been heading east. You look back, see the city to the west, figure out where the sun is, and go, okay, yeah, that's the way. If we're heading east, that's where we need to be going.
That'll be why there's a tree in my notebook. You said west to me as long as it's used.
I know I did, mate. I know I did.
Okay, phew.
Blame the illness today.
I don't know if I can say east in this voice. That's the problem. West is easy.
Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to practice that then, because I think this is a good time for us to take a wee short break. I can't even say wee there. So we can all go have a wee, and so Paul can practice his accents, and we'll see where this chaos leads us. So right. Join us back here in a few minutes. Hello. Hey, yo.
Hi-yo.
There's me now.
Welcome back. For anybody that's joined us during the break, we obviously have a new face, so say hello to Paul, everyone, who is playing Richard, the human artificer. And obviously Dave's character has changed. If you've not figured out why, go and watch the last hour and 40-odd minutes and you'll figure it out. Cool. So, having had our slight break in the dunes of the Gildornian deserts, Richard gets themselves a little bit lost. And then, through Lex sort of looking into the sky, looking at the position of the sun, Richard, you sort of look at your notes again. Make me another survival check, this time with advantage, please. We will consider you aided through Lex's assistance.
14.
14. So as you look at your notes and then you turn the page and realise the drawing of a tree was actually on the wrong page for what you were looking at, you now find the page to the location you were needing to go and continue on your way.
I take it this isn't as far as the hole in the world. I take it.
Oh no, absolutely not. This is
traveling a half a day's sort of travel or whatever.
Yeah, it's a couple of hours out at most.
Yeah.
And you eventually get to the point where, Richard, your notes stop. And you've been travelling probably for a maximum of about 3.5 hours. But you are well into the dunes now. Everybody make me perception checks, please.
Natural 1.
Brilliant.
Natural 1, there we go. Pause in the house.
There it is.
You are lost. 13 for me.
13? Oh dear.
That was also a natural 1 for me.
So as you sort of come to a stop,
I mean, it's a 5.
as Richard sort of looks around, Richard, as far as you're aware, you've reached your destination, but you can't seeing anything, and you're looking around. Lex, you sort of see Richard looking around. You see Morlan also just sort of milling about, sort of head turning. You begin to look around and pay a bit closer attention, and there's part of one of the dunes just in front of you that looks an odd shape.
What is it you're looking for, Richard? Is it potentially that over there? I point to the wedge-shaped dune.
Richard will flick through his notes, just kind of like looking at the dune and seeing if he spots anything, and I guess he will at some point. I don't know.
Make me an investigation check this time then, please.
Oh, apologies. I was tinkering with my incense. What are we looking for?
I have no idea.
First time I've heard it referred to as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard might want your insight. Anyway, 14.
14. As you sort of flick through your notes and then look towards the dune that Lex points at, you realise this is where you need to be heading, and you can see the rough outline of what looks like some sort of stone or marble entryway hidden within this dune.
Oh, there it is, guys. Let's go.
Come Mickey Mouse.
Let's just...
Did you ever used to watch The Mighty Boosh? Anybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Absolutely.
Old Greg?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the kind of vibe I'm getting as well. I like it.
Getting some proper cultural references now. Jesus Christ.
People might have to Google that one if they're not from the
I
UK.
probably
It's very
wouldn't.
niche.
Richard, you have been here before. Did you encounter any squatters? Any things that were here in the past? Any issues?
I mean, there was some stuff, yeah, but nothing to worry about, I don't think. At least not for a couple of strapping lads like yourself.
I may tower over some people, but doesn't mean I like to get in a brawl. If I can help it.
Yeah, I think we
Why
came
do
this
we-
far, right? We best go in.
Yeah, I just said we weren't stopping and going back. I was just trying to see what was going to be ahead of us here.
Do we think it's gonna? Is it like full of traps? Is it dangerous? What can we expect in there?
Oh, yeah. There's lots of tinkerings in there. You see, there'll be potentially constructs and traps, invisible magic. Who knows?
Well, on the invisible magic front, I may be able to help a few occasions. So, let me know when that will be of assistance when we get closer.
Oh sure.
you,
I'll make sure to check my notes.
Have you got all the traps down in your notes, or are we just hoping for the best at this point?
Yeah, look here.
And then I'm just going to show a page of absolute awful drawings and scribblings of the worst kind of map you've ever seen in your life. With things crossed out and circled, and there's no real way to know what the actual real thing is on there.
What is that supposed to be?
This is just a map of all the traps. I'm sure we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Oh God. Just for the record, I am starting to worry about it.
Well, I can imagine you're quite worried. Your friend's dead. Sorry, too soon. Don't worry about it.
Lead the way, Richard. You go first.
Okay, will do. Go on, Henry. Scooch in there.
And then I'm just going to send this spider bot who will kind of almost look back at me hesitantly, and then scurry forward towards whatever entrance it finds.
So, Henry the spider bot, as my voice has well and truly gone at this point, ventures forward and sort of just begins to dig through the sand. And there's just this, because it's only a small little spider bot, just there's sort of these little puffs of sand. And this is taking a while.
We are having to actually dig our way in, then.
Well, it certainly seems like it.
Ah. Great. Good.
I suppose we best help.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Well, let's just try and clear enough of our way in, shall we?
You've got shovels for hands. It should be quicker if you help.
That's what I was thinking of, and yeah, Morland just get down on his knees and then just start trying to scoop as much sand out of the way as possible.
Okay, and as you sort of get next to Henry the spider bot and begin to drag away, you sort of do one big pull, and then the sand just starts to filter away itself, almost as if by magic. This door becomes revealed as you very quickly step back, and Henry scuttles back as well, as the sand just parts, and you see this small marble stone staircase towards a marble doorway.
Oh, well, I didn't realise it was that good at it. Oh. That must have been some sort of magic.
Oh, did I not tell you about that? It's written right here, look.
And then I'll point again to another scribble that clearly doesn't say anything.
Perhaps from here on in, maybe it would be good to see some sort of magical disguise or something. There we so Morland will now grab hold of his staff with both hands, and he will just sort of touch it to his head, and as he does, he opens his eyes, and they have a slight glow to them as he casts Detect Magic.
Very good. As you focus then on the door, you can see that the door itself is magical, and you can also see the faint wisps in the air of a fading magic. But yes, the door looks as if it's got some sort of arcane lock on it.
So it not only was hidden, but no, it also does look like it's locked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't suppose either of you have a ways through a magically locked door? I don't think it's going to be as easy as knocking on this one, I'm afraid.
I mean, I guess I've been through it before, so do I have anything scribbled that I can understand in my little book?
Make me a straight intelligence check, please.
Thanks for choosing that one, but unfortunately 11. Not too bad.
As you look through your own scribbles, you're a bit there like, It says magical lock, but you don't have anything else that sort of describes what it was doing.
As a slightly learned man, not Morland spent a bit of time reading stuff. Can he see anything on the door that might mention basically any instructions to how to get in?
Make an investigation check then, please.
Yeah. Is that a... Hang on a minute.
I'll assist on that. I'll be kind of looking around in my book and peering at the...
Do so with advantage then, please, Morland.
Cool. 18.
18. As you look across the door, a lot of it is faded with the sand over time. I say faded, been eroded away, to the point where this door is almost polished smooth. But but you can see the faintest of what look like very old hieroglyph-like symbols on the door.
That I do or don't understand.
Let's have a look at your character, shall we?
Morlin isn't the most intelligent person, but
You
is
are
wise
a
in his use.
researcher, so I am going to say, make me a history check, please. And add your proficiency bonus on top of it, why not?
Oh, very nice. 22.
So you would recognise these as hieroglyphs of ancient Gildornian, very, very old Gildornian hieroglyphs, and you can just about work out the symbols, and it describes the story of a very intelligent king who withdrew into themselves and built machines to serve them as their subjects failed them, sealed away in this tomb so their dark magic would no longer taint the world around them. And the story sort of, from your rough translation, then says something, and the final line is, only the most persistent will gain entry, or something along those lines.
I have to say, Richard, I did wonder whether you were telling a little bit of a porky when you said there was a king here before. But from my many years of reading, it seems like it says that, yes, this temple does hold or tomb does hold a king. And his tinkering, I can't quite translate that. Bodies, I think. Tinkering bodies. Something. Here, it does say something along the lines of only the most persistent can get through the door. Does that mean we have to, I don't know, keep knocking? Has anyone else got any ideas?
Persistent. What does it mean? Could it be translated as strength of will or determination or anything like that?
I suppose it is a translation. I mean, at this point it's so old it's... Yes, could mean a desperation for wanting to get in or out. Perhaps. Should we try knocking? It may work.
Why not?
Maybe.
Morlin is going to go up and, knock on the door and go, oh, we really do want to get in, we promise.
And sort of an echo. Morlin, what do you say your greatest desire is at this point?
Morlin's greatest desire is to see the Everlights work. And he's interested in the fact that that might align with what Lex is trying to do. But he is always looking to see the Everlight in action. I would say he's probably seen it once or twice. Properly. If that
Maybe
makes
a
sense.
religion check then, please.
It's 6.
As Morlin knocks on the door and as your hand sort of and your knuckles touch the door, there's almost like this puff of dust, if you like. And you sort of breathe in. And you begin to sort of think on your desires and shake your head a little bit. And the only thing you can picture in your mind is that figure of the female with the two large wings. And how wonderful it would be to see her. And the door does nothing.
So So throughout that entire bit, Richard has been kind of scratching his head, and obviously he was spoken to before, but didn't really respond, and he was just. It looks like he's then completely great out, and then he rushes over to the door, and then he just starts going, banging on it and going, "Please let me in, please."
What is Richard's greatest desire at this point?
I dread to think.
And if you need to DM it to me because you don't want to reveal too much, feel free to DM it to me.
No, I'll just say that greatest desire is, what he's heard about this king and the constructs, the tinkerings that he's created, and that's his one ambition, is to get as close to that as possible, because he thinks there's some secrets there that'll make his whole disordered life make sense. Try to align that to some stat.
Maybe a persuasion check, please.
12.
12. As the same dust sort of puffs around, and you've experienced this before, having been inside at least once before, the dust sort of enters your consciousness, and you think around, what am I most want? And you focus on those things that you saw before. And that pure, clear picture of the last thing you'd seen before you had to leave rather quickly forms in your mind, and a thin beam of light forms in the door, and it just opens up before you.
See, I guess persistence is key. Let's go.
Well, whatever you did, do it again. It's opening.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have thought you'd need to be more persistent than twice. But hey, I'm happy with that.
I mean, I'm quite persistent. I've come back, haven't I?
True. Do we all need to show persistence, or will it just open for you?
I mean, the door is open.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said it opened a crack. It's fully open.
No. A thin beam of light appeared, and then the door
Oh,
opened.
sorry.
Anyway,
What
Henry,
now?
scuttle along.
So I'm going to send Henry back in just to light the way.
Morlan will get his shield out now. It's a small, simple wooden shield.
Yeah.
Very basic, but adorned with the engraved symbol of Ray.
Very good. So, Henry goes forward first and just sort of scuttles into the darkness, and then there's these two tiny little pinpricks of light as its eyes sort of shine out. Not quite the same as a torchlight, probably gives you about a foot worth of light, but it can see around it, and it sees the stairs in front of it, and begins to wander down. And you can see these two little tiny pricks of light wander down. Are you following?
I'm going to
Is
rush
it-
in after. Sorry, go on.
I was just about to ask him if it was safe to go in, but god damn it. After you, Morlan.
Oh, yes. This is going to be quite interesting. I will let you know if I see anything magical.
Yeah, that's why I thought it would make sense for you to go first.
Ah, you're right. You really are the smart one. That's a good idea.
And
Morlan
I'll go
slowly
in.
saunters in to the two.
Oh, I forgot he's slow. Fucking hell. Okay. I will annoyedly plod along behind him, but I'll have Cog facing backwards, watching my ass. Not my actual ass, behind me.
As you descend down these stairs then, and Cog's sort of spherical body is faced the other way, You get a certain way down the stairs, and there's just this as a brazier on the wall just lights, and then the light continues down the stairs, and you see it opens into a hallway, which then opens wide. And if you'd like to open Owlbear Rodeo at this point,
Nice.
you will see what I mean.
By the way, everyone, they were lit by magic.
They were.
Thank you, Morlan. Very perceptive.
And also at this
You are
point,
more
you
than
just hear
welcome. I said
the.
I was here to help.
You then hear this. As the light behind you dies, and the door shuts.
Fuck.
The door's closed, everyone.
Richard, is it okay that is Richard close enough for me to actually see, or is he really fucked up?
I'd say you've all caught up and you're on the stairs.
Okay.
So.
Yeah,
Did
I'm
the
just
door
looking
close on
around
you
them.
last time? Is it okay that the door is shut? Is that something to worry about?
Checks his notes again.
Make an investigation check, please.
Okay, fine. 19.
19. You have notes, quite extensive notes at this point, as you manage to decipher the scribbles, of descending down a marble staircase, and torches are lighting, the door closing, and a corridor that went from left to right. And that's where the scribbles become a little bit more difficult to read.
I guess I'll convey that back to everyone. Yeah, I do seem to have some vague recollection of this happening. We just show some persistence and we'll get straight back out.
Can I inside check that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Richard, roll me a persuasion or deception check, whichever one you think is more appropriate. And just tell
I
us
rolled
the result.
11.
18.
That checks
As
out.
far as you're concerned.
Solid
Alex, yeah.
advice, Richard. Yeah, thank you.
Very good. So what you notice as you get to the bottom of these marble stairs then is that there's two torches on the walls, two braziers that have lit up, that are only on the right hand wall, and there's this small golden statuette that's embedded into the wall.
Is it magical?
The torches are. This little golden statuette, no.
Has Morland seen this type of statue before? Is it recognisable?
Would you like to get closer and investigate?
100%.
Okay, make me an investigation or a religion check, please.
Investigation or religion? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What will be a religion? That's a natural 20.
He said casually.
You are a very learned cleric, and the statuette that's in this there's this sort of small little golden basin with the tiniest trickle of water running into it, and then this statuette of a robed figure. Looks feminine in form, but these long robes that cover the majority of the body, and then this mask on the face. You recognise this specifically as a statuette of the Matron of Death.
Oh, good.
Sure. Yeah. I do believe this is a statue of the Matron of Ravens.
Is that a good thing?
It's a thing, I suppose. It's good to know that the gods were looking over this and are.
Well, I suppose if any artifact can bring somebody back from the dead, it's going to be the goddess of death, right?
Well, my limited knowledge of the other deities, I have some, I've read. She doesn't like to bring people back.
She did in campaign 1, Dave.
Yeah, because we were going around with a grave cleric of the Major of Ravens.
Literally crusading with her bitch.
Yeah, I mean, you know, all of the lore, she's like...
Her
nope.
champion is my busy mate, actually.
Yeah,
So...
Richard, did you see many more of this similar statues around, or is this just more likely one at the entrance?
Do I remember any more, I guess?
Nope. Now this is pointed out, you remember this being the only divine type artifact here.
I
guess. Sorry.
You know which way then you went before.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's go. Let's go this way.
And it's just going to point left and hurry Henry along.
Good stuff. So as the three of you, 5 of you technically, step out into this long corridor, you can see that to the left where Richard now leads you is a double archway, if you like, or a double-sized archway. And as you turn to your right and just look where you could have gone, there is a smaller corridor that is sort of 5 feet wide, if you like, with a single archway that denotes it. And you can see the torchlight continues on into these areas. You are headed left. You pass by this broken marble statue, which is that bit you can just see on screen now. So that bit. There's very little on that. It is crumbled away to pretty much dust. As Richard begins to lead you down this corridor here, are you continuing on?
Yep.
Yes. Checking again for anything magical.
Yeah, Richard is kind of hurriedly rushing along, not really worried about any of the magical stuff, in a way, just thinking he'll deal with it when it comes. So, yeah, just being quite haphazard.
Very good then. So, yet again, Morland, the only magic you can currently see is that of the torches.
Yep.
Very good. So I'll just bring up my other notes. Very good then. Richard, you continue down this corridor and you can see it opens up slightly wider. Are you going all the way down?
I'll probably go halfway down and then turn around to where I can potentially see the others, like lagging behind, and just go.
Well, see, not much to see in here, guys. Just let's keep going. Let's keep plodding along. No need to be so coy about things. There's nothing bad around here.
And as you say that and step out into the wider corridor, you hear this twing. I need a dexterity saving throw, please.
It's like I asked for it, isn't it? 6.
6. These tiny holes now sort of open up in a 15-foot sort of rectangular area, or a 15 by 20-foot rectangular area. If you imagine this sort of area. So on these 2 walls either side of the corridor, these numerous holes just open up, and a number of darts just... You are going to take... When I can get it out. Down the tube, come on guys. You are going to take a... What is that? 13 points of poison damage. As these poison darts just all down you. And I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yeah, is there any chance I can use little Henry to deflect one of those attacks using his reaction? Or a couple?
Yeah, I'll allow
Mr.
it.
President?
Make an athletics check for Henry, please.
Will do. Uh, 11.
11. Okay. So you can add 6 points of health back on. As Henry at one point just folds himself over and the little legs just and kick 2 of these darts away.
Oh, thank you there, Henry, but you could have got a bit more.
Richard, you okay?
I thought you knew where the traps were.
I mean, they may have moved. It's been a while since I've been here last.
Ah, right. Proceed with caution then.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really going to be many more traps, really. So let's just keep going.
And then he's going to hurry along even quicker.
So I'll say you get to about here then, as the party then catches up. And as Morlan and Lex cross over that threshold, you can see now the tripwire that has been triggered as such. Richard, you get to about here. Make me an investigation check, please.
12.
12. You step there and your foot goes down and you can feel something shift underneath your foot slightly. What do you do?
Uh-oh, guys. That thing I said about the no traps. I'm not quite sure. I wasn't maybe telling a bit of a porcupine in your words.
Is there another trap in front of you?
Yeah. You see here? This little pressure plate I stood on? Well, fuck.
So it's not quite fully depressed, is what I'm going to say.
Did you need a hand?
Yeah, maybe your foot?
I was thinking more of, more of just being able to help in a slightly different way.
I mean, sure. What do you suggest?
Well, perhaps you're going to need to come back our way quite quickly. Perhaps?
I mean, I don't know how this pressure plate works, you see. It could be that when I lift off.
And I'm going to apply a slightly little bit of more pressure and hopefully that they can see that it's kind of like moving. But I'm going to do it ever so slightly.
You slightly push down. You can feel a slight vibration in the floor.
What do you think is going to happen when you move your foot? Is this in your notebook?
I mean, I'll look through my notebook again, but I'm assuming there's not going to be anything in there.
I'm starting to question the value of this notebook, Richard.
It's at this point Richard realises that this wasn't the hallway he went down.
Classic Richard.
Yeah, that is classic Richard. If only you knew.
Guys, do you remember when we went?
Well, one, we went west. Let's start that off with that.
All right.
No, okay.
Do you remember when we maybe got a little bit lost in the desert? I think this might be another one of those times, you see. Just remind me of names again.
I don't think our names are important right now. How do we stop you setting off that trap?
Is there only one pressure plate?
Make me a perception check from where you're stood, Morgan.
Yeah. 5. No.
5.
No. 8.
8.
You said no,
Barely
like it's
see
going
the
to be
pressure
like
plate
that.
that Richard stood on, but
I mean, 3
that's the only
better.
one you can see.
Well, Richard, I think it's probably... should we try and just go round it? I think it's your best bet. Look,
So I'm gonna shout Henry over.
Oh, here, hey Henry, just come here for a second, will you?
And I'm going to attempt to do a Indiana Jones swap my leg for Henry.
I approve.
Okay. I'm going to ask the two of you, i.e. Richard and Henry, to make me straight dexterity checks.
by the way, I presume that we've been gone for... Oh, no, hang on a minute. I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay. Yeah. Are we going for 10 minutes since we entered or not? Are we still within 10 minutes?
You've probably been down here for 10 minutes now, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so the detect magic's wearing off. So concentration's going. So I am going to... Morlin will whisper some words in Celestial and point his staff at Richard. I'm going to cast Bless, which actually is going to be on presumably all three of us, actually, because we can cast it up to 3 creatures. So I'm casting Bless for a minute.
Very good.
That's a
And is that-
D4 to any attack roll, saving throw. Yeah.
So your version of, the opposite of Bane then, and your version of Bardic Inspiration for us, really, isn't it?
Pretty much.
I guess I can't use it for this roll, though.
It's just a check.
Yeah, is it? Okay, yeah, that's fine. So we're 14 for both of us, by the way. Both me and Henry.
14 for
Oh,
both
Henry.
of you. So I'm just adding some coloured rings for Bless. So as Richard, as you lift your foot off, Henry scuttles down your leg and just places itself onto the pressure plate as you then sort of jump back a step. That pressure plate then and that vibration gets louder and louder and louder, and eventually an area caves in. Just there. Make a dexterity saving throw for Henry, please.
$13.
With a 13. So I just coughed my guts up. I need to find the right one. 13 is enough to save. As Henry just jumps back and sort of lands against you as the floor caves in, and what you now see as you look down is that this is a pit with some very, very sharp metal spikes at the bottom. And there are a number of skeletal corpses at the bottom as well.
Oh, well, thanks for the hammer. You really saved my life there. I appreciate it. So guys, I don't think we should really listen to what I say from now on. I think you should lead the way. Maybe you seem to know what you're doing.
Would we perhaps go the other way?
I mean, that's anyone's guess. Certainly not mine.
I suppose, though, we've already set off 2 traps this way, so we might...
Yes, I suppose.
I suppose that's 2 more than we know of the other way.
Yes, awfully astute, yes. Well then, Lex...
Can we get
choice.
around that hole, or do we have to jump it?
You can move around the edge of it.
Okay. What is it? 25. I think we should probably just carry on this way. We've come this far, I suppose.
Well, then, yes, absolutely. I'm afraid I can't necessarily see the magic anymore, so we're just going to have to hope from here, I suppose.
Well, it's not really prevented anything from happening, so I don't think that's much of a loss.
No. Well, I tell you what, Lex. I shall go first, actually, and hope that well, we want to keep you safe to get back to your friend. And if it can take my weight, it can take all of yours. So Morland wants to go around the left-hand side of this, hugging the wall and getting past it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to keep an eye out for trip hooks and pressure plates.
Very good. So you sort of shimmy your way along the wall, and it holds. It's perfectly fine. Make me an investigation check then, please. As you very slowly, even slower than usual, walk forward, looking around you.
11.
11. You wander forward. Ooh. Why can't I get your token?
Yeah.
You wander forward to about here. As you step forward, there's just this doing as your ankle catches on something. And I need a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh.
God damn it.
Dexterity saving throw. Is that with bless? Still?
It will be with bless, because you are blessed.
Cool. 8.
8.
That's...
You take
rolled a
9
lot of
points of slashing damage as these 2 blades just and begin to continually swing now. So I also need you to decide whether you are stepping forward or backwards, because if you stay here, you're going to take another forwards. So as that first blade catches you, you then think, oh, fuck this, and jump forwards. Excuse me. Richard, Lex, what are you doing?
Oh, damn my large feet.
Lex is just going to look at his ring of jumping and just going to run and jump over the hole and land there.
Okay. Boom. So you jump over the
We've
wall.
got time for this. And just leap.
So you can now just see these 2 blades just
given they're swinging like a metronome, which I'm given where I grew up, that's just a bog standard rhythm. I would consider it quite easy for me to be able to pass through these blades without a scratch. Would you agree, Matthew?
Make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, that's a no. 15. I'm happy with that.
15. As you sort of monitor these blades, just you pick your moment and then jump and roll through as you just calculate it correctly. You just save. Richard.
Oh, Richard was just looking on, looking quite worried, biting his nails almost, at what just went on, and then he's just going to take a few deep breaths and go, "Oh, okay, I'm coming, guys, don't worry," and then go around this, basically, and shimmy along very, very carefully, back fully flat against the wall.
Mm-hmm. So you've now got these swinging blades in front of you. What are you going to do?
Just gonna sway with it.
She's just going to bob.
Take a step forward, and then go, "Oh, no, maybe not." Henry, you go first, and I'll see. I'll follow you. I'll see if you can do it. And I'm gonna
maybe a dexterity saving throw for Henry, please.
Yeah, I'll do.
I should really put Henry on the map.
Henry's getting smashed to pieces.
Oh shit! Natural one.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Henry is this tiny little mechanical being and just sort of scuttles in as these two blades catch it almost at exactly the same time. 10 points of slashing damage as these two blades just across your little machine.
Did he make it across though?
How many hit points
Did it survive?
did Henry have?
Oh, he survived. Yeah, he's got quite a lot of hit points. To be fair,
It has got quite a lot of hit points actually. Fuck my life. So yeah, Henry
I was
then
really
just sort
expecting
of
it to be dead.
rolls weak or sort of scuttles a little bit erratically out the other side, and there's a few sparks, and like the buzzsaw that it has is now bent at an odd angle, and just sort of.
I'm going to retrieve something from my backpack, which is an all-purpose tool that looks like a little, kind of almost like a little handheld torch with a few blades around the outside that kind of spin around. I'm then going to open up my notebook and kind of face it towards the notebook as though revealing extra things within the notebook. I'm then going to close my eyes and I'm just going to step through.
So, not casting anything. After all that, I'm just going to fucking... Jesus, take the wheel!
Yeah. It looked good.
Make me a dexterity saving throw then, Richard.
11.
11. You step through, close your eyes, and as you step through, you can just hear the blades sting as they carve into your body. And you're going to take 10 points of slashing damage. And you sort of fold out of the other side with these huge, great slash wounds either side of your body.
I'm just gonna
I do
then.
believe that makes Richard bloodied.
It does. Oh, Richard. Oh, goodness me. And we'll guide the staff over Richard. The end slightly glows, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds.
Yeah, obviously before that I've let out a horrible shriek, and then gone. Oh, guys, that usually works.
That's good.
At least it works at home.
The worst I could have rolled, I rolled a 1 on the d8, so you get 8 points.
That's it's better than nothing, isn't it? It's better than no
I was
hands.
going to say, no longer bloodied, but...
Yeah. There you go.
Very good, then. As the 5 of you now step beyond the 3rd trap in this corridor, what are we doing?
I do believe there's going to be more traps, but doesn't look like we can do much about it apart from get through them.
I don't
So
know
I'll say
about
what
that.
you
I
see
think
at
most people will do.
what you see at the far end of the corridor is a stone door.
Oh, there's a door. We're fucked. Just give up. Go out.
Richard will step back through the blades, taking more hits.
It just fucking lies there. I'm done.
Well, I think it's safe to say we've been persistent enough to get through this door.
Yeah,
Right?
well, yes,
I'll go and check it. I'll go and check it for traps first.
I'm sure we're probably fine after those quite terrible ones, as Morlin says,
Yeah.
looking backwards, like is turned around, looking backwards and walking towards the door.
As I walk to the door, though, I will be checking for foot plates and tripwires and shit, and then I'll approach the door to check that for traps too.
Make me 2 investigation checks, please. The first for the floor as you're walking, and the second for the door.
That's 11 for the floor.
Okay. You don't see or sense any plates or tripwires as you wander and you get to the door, and nothing has happened.
And then for the door, fuck me, a 1.
Wow.
It just seems like a stone door that you can push open.
Well, this door seems fine to me, guys. I'll just fucking push it.
Okay. As you push it open then, you push it and then the ceiling itself begins to fall and collapse. Make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Rocks fall.
Everyone dies.
Oh man, I rolled another 1. 2 for my saving throw. It's all gone to shit now, mate.
You know what happens on natural ones.
People die.
We're meant to be saving one of our characters, not killing another one.
Yeah. I'll make a new character for next week, it'll be right. I'll play the dead king that's in this tomb.
Yeah, sounds good. Absolutely. I'll just continue to play
Well,
Morlin.
that was fucking garbage damage is all I'm going to say. There's 2 1s in there. You're going to take a grand total of 2, 6, 9 points of bludgeoning damage as these rocks fall as you try and scramble your way
Nope, it's not.
through the door as you push it open. And these rocks just catch sort of your ankle as you scramble through. That was a bag of shit, is what I'm going to say. Fucking hate that roll.
I'm happy with it. Because I could have been really fucked.
You're on 17, like, so I'm trying to do math here
Yeah.
after that night.
Yeah.
Very good. So there now are a collection of rocks on the floor, Morlin and Richard. But the trap has been sprung.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Morlin walks over the rubble.
Very good.
It's only fair that we all set off a trap. balance has been restored.
You speak quite a lot of about balance, don't you, Lex? I would have said it was a right of us all to get through here, but maybe that's my my reading days catching up with me.
Well, balance and order above all things. Yes.
Well, I'm very interested in that theorem.
I'll tell you about it another time. Once we get out of here.
What you notice is, as you've opened the door, Lex, and the rocks have fallen again, a number of braziers have just sprung to life in the corridor ahead of you, which, as you can see on the map, leads forward and then turns right. What do you want to do?
Morlan is fully expecting that this corridor is absolutely fine because it's a different shape and the other one was good, so he's going to keep walking forwards, having a discussion with Lex.
Okay. I'll say then, as the two of you wander around the corner and get to here, as you're having your discussions and Richard following suit, nothing happens. And you see Carry on.
I was just going to say at the back that just as before we catch up, me and Henry having a little pep talk with each other, just trying to shake ourselves out of being scared because we went in quite haphazardly and then we've become quite worried about the fact that we don't know what's going on anymore.
Okay, Richard, make me a perception check, please.
Oh, it looked like a 1, but it wasn't. 8. I know 8 doesn't look like a 1.
I was going to say. Good to know. Thank you. So you then catch up with Morlan and Lex. And you see under the 20 foot by hundreds of feet corridor ahead of you. 20 foot wide. What do you want to do?
I mean, it's unlikely that anyone's going to put any traps in here. Surely all the other traps will have dealt with everyone by now, so you guys go ahead.
Oh, very good. Morlan's going to walk forwards.
Okay. Morlan, you walk forwards. And you walk forwards. And you walk forwards. And eventually you traverse the whole corridor.
Okay.
And nothing happens.
Oh, we did it.
And then
This better not take us in a circle back to the fucking beginning.
I was just about to say that I look at the corridor turning to the right and be like, isn't this the way we taking us back the way we came? Oh no, maybe it does go into a chamber that we could only get from this way. I
hope you're right.
Fine, everyone. Come with me.
As I'm walking down the corridor, I'm going to look to the wall that's on the right, so that'd be the inside wall, to see if there's any potential secret doorway that I could fathom.
Make me an investigation check as you take a slow walk, following Morlan, just trying to look along the wall.
Fucking hell, 3 1s on the trot. Another one.
Unbelievable.
That's some bullshit.
Just looks like plain stone walls as you get up to next to Morlan. Richard follows suit. Richard, are you doing anything as you wander down the corridor?
I'm just me and Henry are just legging it down, paying very careful attention to exactly where the path already trodden. So I'm kind of almost looking down, very great focus.
Very good. Well, we will say then, as you get to this next narrower corridor, and you can see that it bends back around as the torches continue to light up, we will leave it there for this week. And we will continue our foray into the Tomb of the Forgotten King next week, where Paul will also be joining us, so we will have Richard back for all the chaotic goodness that they have brought, which is something we absolutely love in these sessions. Campaign 2 has been nothing if not chaotic. So thank you for adding to that, Paul. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being on this absolute nuts journey. Thank you all for joining us and listening and watching as we try and navigate a very weird and wacky dungeon, for want of a better term. So if you want to catch this episode again, please do go check out YouTube or the podcast on Friday. If you want to go and catch any of the past episodes, then go and do so on the same channels. Of course, we will be back here next Monday, same time, same place, to do part 2 of this tomb. And yes, I think that's about it. So I think we all send our love to Samau, who is out in the world working and doing all the stuff he needs to do. We will see you soon, buddy. But until he returns, we have our very, very special guest star. So thank you once again to Paul. But until then, until next time, everybody stay safe. Much love. Thank you for all the support, and we will see you next week.